So the question is on sort of when to sell, and I really think the best sell decisions I've made over the last 15 odd years or so are the ones where I thought there was a fundamental problem with the company, and where I had to hold my hand up and say, listen, I misjudged this company in terms of its competitive advantage, the motivation of the management, the size of the opportunity, whatever it was, but where I felt I'd sort of misjudged that and sold, that was generally a really good decision. To pick an example, I was in, shortly after I invested in Google, I think this was around 2011, 2012, I invested in Baidu, which is the sort of Chinese search engine. And one of the things I sort of realized after owning Baidu for a few years was that the search quality was very poor, and they were effectively mixing ads with organic search results. So instead of showing people the best result, they were showing effectively an ad. And that's something which destroys customer trust. And that was a reason I sold the company. And I've certainly never regretted that since. And I think it was a good decision. At the other end of the extreme, there's been cases of companies which I thought were doing everything right. It was playing out exactly as I thought. But at the time, it felt like the share price had gone up so much that it was no longer a good value. And whenever I sold under those circumstances, what generally happened was the business did way better than I expected, and I really regretted selling it afterwards. And there's been several of those. So for me, the biggest takeaway is, the best time to sell a company is if the company isn't on track. And with valuation, or the kind of the short-term multiples of earnings and those kind of things, to be quite careful if that's the only reason to sell something.
Can I just follow up?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. So obviously everyone wants to sell when it reaches intrinsic value, but at certain times, certain valuations make more sense, and there are times when, for example, in the case of Baidu, like how long does it is it a year? How long does it take to say, okay, it probably isn't working out the way I thought in my mind it was going to work out?
Oftentimes it's something that dawns on you over time. If once you're invested in something, it's normally because you're enthusiastic about it, and it normally takes a little bit of more than one data point to really change your mind. So it is something that sort of tends to evolve over time, as opposed to being a sort of a sudden decision, at least in my case. Yeah.
Thank you.